All right. And in true fashion for the late to the party news, we always start the show a little bit late. But Lady Marine is already threatening to leave. Time difference,
Wow.
But 1 to 2 minutes late, we can make it happen. But cheers and happy Monday to all of you for joining us.
Cheers.
Glad you're here. Roman made sure to wear his musician's hat this week. He was not wearing it last week, but the week before, you kind of look like you're about to sing some Jason Mraz songs or something.
I don't know what that means, but I'll accept it. No, Mrs. of the Empire was just in here. She said that because President Trump was supposed to be doing the interview with Elon right now, no one can get in Twitter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe people will flood over to YouTube and.
I don't know if it broke Twitter, if it's just overloaded with people trying to watch the event, or what. But yeah, she's like, she wants to watch it and she can't watch it. So
yeah, well, that is unfortunate. But let's real quick go through the chat. We had our early bird, Jacob Ironside. Always good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. We've got Cajun Corey in the chat. Hello to you, sir.
Hello.
And down here, where was it? Oh, almost that way. Yeah. Hey, the rest of us, well, not Roman because he's retired. The rest of us work for a living also. So, Roman just works at not dying.
Work for what do you do? Get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? I used to do that. I'm still awake. I would still be awake at this time of the day. Come on, Lady Marine, you can work through this. You're tough. We can do this.
Your main thing is just to work at not dying, which we just celebrated this past weekend. Hey, Roman made another trip around the sun. He didn't die, and
It was really nice, and I appreciated you guys coming out. We had a lot of. I think I ended up with 6 bottles of whiskey.
That is
wow.
By the end of the evening, they're all like good stuff. So I'm.
It's a good problem to have. Let's see what here we've got. Jay the Deep Minded in the chat as well. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us.
We have a meme alert.
God,
well, apparently, if Twitter's broken, I might not be able to open it. Let's see what we got.
No, you can get in Twitter. You can't get into the
stream.
The stream, though.
Gotcha. Okay, so I can still pull up memes.
The important part of it is working.
Oh, Gardens for Olives songs from the Big Breadstick.
Thank you.
Which also, any of you who were in Roman's birthday stream on Thursday, you probably noticed that Jacob then also changed his avatar to a picture of Roman that looked like it's from the same era, holding a breadstick. Sorry, I smacked my microphone with my hand. And holding the breadstick right in front of his face. But he did it just ever so subtly that all of a sudden it was like, hey, Jacob changed his avatar. And it's Roman looking like he's trying to play a breadstick like a harmonica.
Yeah.
No, my only question, I have questions though.
All right.
Where was this picture that Jacob has access to it?
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe he screenshot did a screenshot during the show.
Screen capture.
I don't know. No, because I had these pictures were on my computer. I was just doing a Roman through the years kind of thing.
See, and this is what I always warn you about. It's like, this is what you get for putting your face out there. Is you will get me.
I know. Yeah. Screenshot. I know.
There we go. Gotcha. Okay. Also working very hard at not dying. Jeremy's trying to stream, trying to listen. It crashed. Okay, yeah. So Twitter is broken, but I can still get memes, folks. So send them on over.
Yeah, and thanks for that, Elon.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to send him a strongly worded letter, much like the EU did.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe like the AI thing is probably the topic we'll have the most to talk about. So we can maybe go through like some of these rapid fire ones. I sent Roman the text earlier about this. I came across a YouTube video and a couple of like Reddit threads and stuff about Brie Larson supposedly was supposed to have a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it got cut, and she's looking at taking legal action against Ryan Reynolds. But
she has zero fucking grounds for that.
But when I did more of a deep dive into the topic,
just go with that.
I couldn't actually find any real substantial evidence about it. There was like one guy that like did a YouTube video about it, and there was like a Reddit thread like from February, like way before the movie came out. So I'm like, okay, there isn't really enough here to actually talk about this. It could all totally be bullshit.
Right.
What I came across, what I found this afternoon was a YouTuber by the name of, I forget because he didn't matter, saying that there was a scene that was scripted and supposedly actually filmed with She-Hulk and Captain Marvel, where they're like lecturing Deadpool about, oh, like you swear too much and you're a toxic male and we need to teach you how to not be a toxic male. And the story supposedly goes that the movie went before like test screenings and test audiences, and they hated it and they pulled it. And even when the movie comes out for home release, it's not going to be involved in deleted scenes. And Brie Larson's mad and she's going to seek legal action. But really, like, quick Google search and like, there's no evidence out there for this. So I'm starting to actually think it's kind of bullshit.
What did you get in response very for sending me that story, John?
It sounds very believable, but when I couldn't find anything, I was like, this is probably fake.
Probably. So John sent me the story, and then I sent him something, a gift, which I hope he can treasure forever on his phone. Remember the text? What text did I send you? He made the throwing up face.
Oh, God. Like, everybody hates Brie Larson. He said, it's fine. She can always make money selling those feet pics on OnlyFans. And then sent me a zoomed in photo of her foot, like crammed into a shoe that was way too small for her foot. Toes were crossing over each other. And it's like,
I saw that. Disgusting.
I'm good. I'm all set.
It's heavy sexy.
What do we got here? There's something going on in the chat. You got in right away, but no one else can. Write that letter, Grandpa. I'll have a stamp if you need it.
I'm assuming that's directed at me. All right.
That's, yeah.
Strongly worded letter. That will ruin shower time.
All right. Well, here's one. Since Roman is currently drinking his Chris Stapleton Traveler whiskey, quick rapid fire topic. And I like the fact that they call it Buffalo Trace's cheap Christopher Stapleton whiskey just won 2 major awards. So Chris Stapleton partnered up with Buffalo Trace to make a blended whiskey they named after his first major label album release. Traveler whiskey was already a bargain, usually below $40, but now it's got the street cred to back up its shelf sleeper status.
You guys tried that? Is it any good?
Roman's drinking it right now because I gave him a bottle for his birthday.
Right,
I've been through a few bottles of it myself, and I enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, it's Buffalo Trace, so it's good. It's a mid-range $30 to $35 bottle. Not going to break the bank, but it's not the cheapest thing on the shelf. But it's good. It holds up on its own for what it is.
Good. Yeah, right.
Everybody look, Dodson. See, nobody cares.
Yeah,
you don't know that I'm not, Copa. You have no idea what I do. Nobody knows. Hey, Jana.
Hey, Jana.
I am a mystery.
Hey, and welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. So what do we got here? After All, the Bottle is a collab between Buffalo Trace Distillery, an operation that rarely misses, and country music superstar Chris Stapleton, a man who has been shown to have both good taste and high standards. Still, celebrity endorsed products rarely live up to the hype and often are nothing more than cash grabs. usually. Traveler is also a blend with no transparency about what's in it and no age statement. What's more, this is Buffalo Trace juice that is both affordable and readily available. 2 potential red flags when dealing with America's hottest distillery. How could it possibly be good? Let's skip down here a little bit. I just want to find out what awards it won. Gold and double platinum. Like several of Stapleton's albums, Traveler now has both gold and double platinum honors to its name. First up is the Spirits Business American Whiskey Masters 2024 competition, where the bottle picked up a gold medal. That's the second highest rating from the competition, with the highest being Master Medal. That was awarded to just 9 whiskeys across 9 categories. And
I love that it was a rubbing alcohol ad right underneath.
What are they doing there?
At first I thought that's how they make it, right?
So yeah, I think it's kind of funny that like everything in here, it's like almost sounds very like snarky about just like, oh well, because it's not hard to find and because it's affordable, it's 2 red flags for whiskey. And I'm like, look, I'm not exactly the type of person that wants to go out and spend like $200 on a bottle of whiskey, or I don't want something where I'm gonna have to go out and like seek it out and wait in line for hours and hours. Like I want something that doesn't break the bank, something I can sip on and enjoy, and is easy, readily available, easy to purchase. So yeah, this article sounds like it was written by a little bit of a whiskey snob, but I love just right there, right in the headline, cheap whiskey wins 2 major awards. So suck it, whiskey snob. It's a good whiskey. Yeah, I currently have a bottle of just regular old Buffalo Trace, which is slightly out of reach right now. I'll have to turn my camera off so I don't knock my green screen over in the process, but I'm going to grab that here in a moment.
It's a real thing, folks. It's a real thing.
It's right here. It's very close. This not gonna lie, I want to know how the Jordans of whiskeys tastes. Jordan of whiskey. What am I missing something here? Am I out of the loop on this one?
Air Jordan.
Janet using young people lingo that even he doesn't know. So I need to know where you're going with this. Like the Jordans, like Michael Jordan saying it's a high tier. I don't know. I need help. I'm a very old person and I get confused very easily. Which
it's true. It's true.
You've seen it. Everybody's seen it. Everyone.
I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, like I said, Jordan's like the shoe.
Okay, yes. All right. Jana, here's the thing. You'll find this surprising that a man like myself, I don't stand in line for anything.
We really don't.
So it doesn't matter what it is. If there's a line, I'm not doing whatever that thing is.
That actually brings to mind also, forget exactly where Russian River Brewing is based out of. I want to say it's maybe like Northern California, maybe Nevada. I don't know. Anyways,
it's Northern California.
Russian River Brewing out here on the West Coast, on the wrong coast, is known for its staple beer, Pliny the Elder. It's an 8% double IPA, very popular. Only certain bars in town can get it because it's really hard to get and it's in high demand. But once a year, they make a Pliny the Younger, and it has been this like fabled beer that I've always heard about, and I will personally never try because, much like we were just talking about, waiting in lines, the bars and tap rooms and pubs that get Pliny the Younger every year, once a year, you have to show up ass early. You get like a raffle ticket. You stand in line for upwards of 2+ hours, whatever. And then if you're lucky, you get to go up and get your one beer of Pliny the Younger. I don't care how good that beer is. I'm not waiting in line. I am not taking the day off of work. I'm not no. I don't wait in line for stuff like that.
Whole lot of,
I'm going to drink it. I'm going to drink it and I'm going to piss it out and it's going to be gone. And like, okay, yeah, I tried Pliny the Younger. Like, yeah.
I can't even get into Twitter now. So beer and wine and whiskey are funny things. But I mean, almost like any like a fine steak, you're just gonna poop that motherfucker out in, like 4 to 7 hours, depending on how it's $120 poop. Yeah, it's fine. Still like it. I mean, you are enjoying the taste experience, in the moment for what it is.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're also enjoying the poop.
Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes not. Like Taco Bell 2 a.m. poop. That's not a good poop. That's a horrifying poop. You don't know. One, you don't know if you're going to make it to the bathroom in time. Two, you don't know if you're going to get your shorts off. There are a lot of layers to this. Things can go terribly, terribly wrong. Just like that, John's gone. Oh my God.
Wrong button.
At least you didn't shut it down.
You would go poop.
Almost a week. See,
I used to
yeah, I've seen these videos. I've seen the people that like camp out and everything. And I'm like, I don't care how cheap the TV is. My time is more valuable than getting a big screen TV for $200.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the PS2
you can't get that time back.
No, I don't.
Whatever it is, like you can't get your time back.
I don't wait at like restaurants. If there's a line, then we need a plan B. We're going somewhere else. The only place that I ever had to endure this experience was at Disneyland, because there's no avoiding it there, and you know what you're getting into going there.
I'm going there on Sunday.
On that. I did it for the children's. But I won't stand in line for dinner for myself. It's not going to happen, and that's the one that comes up most often. Or if I walk into Target and that shit's backed up into the pet aisle, nope, we just turn around and we leave, and it is what it is.
God.
I don't know if it's quotable, but it's
before the internet. If we wanted to go to a show, we'd go camp out at the box office or some department store that sold tickets, or you're like waiting to as soon as the one you're like constantly trying to dial the number to get in so you could get tickets back in the day.
I remember I remember having a friend, the band Tool was coming to San Diego, and a handful of my friends, we all wanted to go see the show, and we'd always heard the rumors of how like their shows would sell out in like 15 minutes. And this was Ticketmaster, and like being able to buy tickets online existed, but it still wasn't quite, it was nothing what it was now. This was like 2006. And one of my roommates and one of my oldest friends that I'm still friends with to this day, at that time, he worked a graveyard shift at a machine shop where he got off work at like 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So we all worked it out. We're like, okay, this many people want tickets. We all gave him our money. He got off work and basically went to like a 24/7 drive through, like Jack in the Box or something, like got something to snack on, and then went to the box office and posted up. So there are already like half a dozen people in front of him at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. We used to spend all night.
Nope. There's nothing I want that badly. There just isn't.
Worse than Taco Bell bathroom. Luckily, I cannot remember the last time I had Taco Bell. So while I love the memes, I have not had that problem in a very long time. Also, living in San Diego, when you have like real legitimate hole in the wall taco shops, you don't need Taco Bell. That's garbage. Like here, I'm like, I can go get a real burrito.
Unless you want to eat 10 crunchy tacos and a bean and cheese burrito. Then you need
for $5.
You know you're going to be paying for it later, but sometimes you're just in that kind of mood,
Oh boy! So I've got another meme here. This one's a video.
What? Why?
Just keep in mind, I'm just the messenger here.
I'm assuming directed at me. Oh no! What? Wait! What the shit?
Want to eat breadsticks and not deal with the consequences. I only want to eat breadsticks.
That is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, Jacob Ironside. You're fired.
Yeah,
you're fired.
You're
100% fired.
And not deal with the consequences. Oh yeah, I only want to eat breadsticks.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's
not
so
funny.
It's so funny. Oh, I just clicked on it again on accident, so now only I can hear it. Oh man, that's so good.
Good.
Yeah, no, in Southern California, there's no reason for places like that to exist here.
Yeah, they should be banned.
Because the place that, like, if it ends in like Ertos, whether it's Roberto's, Rigoberto's, if it ends in Ertos, it's good. If it has like 1-star reviews, the lighting is kind of sketchy, you have to like go down a dark alley to get it, it's going to be the best Mexican food you're ever going to have.
Hey, Dempsey, did we go to Del Rey Taco when we were in Vegas? In that food court?
I did
like
not.
some Tex-Mex.
I got some like those churritos. I got something sweet there. But we didn't get tacos. We just got like a snack.
No, I was really drunk the first day. We ate lunch. We ate lunch with the cannolis and
when we were on the strip, walking up the strip. We went to that.
Oh, I forgot we were on the strip. I was sober by that point. That's after we went to the steakhouse.
Yeah.
I didn't get any food after that. I was full for at least 3 days after we went to the steakhouse.
Oh, I got Tom a taco or something. I remember.
Tom might have.
Man, I wish I could find that breadsticks meme now, but it's lost in the algorithm back in April. So as we were walking down the strip, lo and behold, we came upon an Olive Garden, and I was walking behind Roman, so I made sure to snap a photo of him, and sure enough, he smuggled breadsticks away in his back pocket.
I hate all of you.
He saw that and like tried to get away from it.
Because I knew what was going to happen. I knew what you assholes would do.
Hey, Dempsey, cheers and welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in. See what other memes he comes up with. In the meantime, another quick little rapid fire topic here. Only because we talked about this maybe a week or two ago. We all know what happened.
You knew this was coming, dude.
We all know what happened with Tenacious D. It was Kyle Gass's birthday. He made the wish, don't miss Trump next time. Jack Black immediately threw him under the bus to save his own ass because he doesn't want to get canceled from Hollywood. And Kyle Gass kind of disappeared. His talent agency dropped him. They're not going to cover him anymore. But this one from just a few days ago, Jack Black says Tenacious D will be back and says that these things take time. So he wanted to throw his bandmate under the bus so that he wouldn't get canceled because didn't he just have some new movie come out that already debuted at like 0% Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, that Borderlands. Borderlands
Oh,
cost over $100 million to make. Currently, it's taken in
$8.8 million for the weekend.
Not very much.
$5.
It's looking at being the whatever the opposite of a blockbuster is. I think it's that of the summer because it's going to lose that much fucking money. A ball buster. Yeah, it's doing really, really bad.
Jack Black has weighed in on the future of Tenacious D after his band partner Kyle Gass made a controversial remark about Donald Trump's attempted assassination in July, which prompted Black to cancel the duo's latest tour, saying, quote, "We needed to take a break. Everybody needs a break sometime." Something about Borderlands. He says, "We'll be back." So he's like, "We needed to take a break. Everyone needs to take a break sometime." It's like, yeah, you guys were literally in the middle of a tour and you canceled the entire tour and said all creative endeavors are on hold for the foreseeable future. Like you literally were like, "Oh, I was blindsided. I didn't know what happened. Everything's canceled." And it's like, yeah, but you laughed.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. Fuck that fat fuck.
Yeah.
I have a hard time listening to Tenacious D anymore, even with the like. Yeah, and I get it. Like I know Jack Black, Kyle Gass, anyone in Hollywood, everybody like they're left leaning. They're all Democrats. They're all liberals, and it's fine. It's whatever. I'm not above being able to like disagree with someone and still be like, okay, I still like your music. I still like your movies. But like there's a certain threshold that once you cross over, it's like, okay, like you did something pretty messed up. I can't overlook that one. And just like days before that or weeks, maybe, I don't know. Jack Black was speaking at something and did this whole thing where like all the headlines were like Jack Black destroys former President Trump in like pro Joe Biden rally, something. It's like, okay, so he's like hardcore, like I'm going for Joe Biden. How smart do you feel now?
None of these things are shocking, by the way.
No, not one.
No, what did it for me with Jack Black? One, I don't prefer him anyway. His type of comedy I find.
I was a fan, but he's
liked him.
I
told Jenna, I liked him in High Fidelity back in 2000. That is as much Jack Black as I can take. But in season 3 of The Mandalorian, the Lizzo episode with Jack Black,
that was terrible.
That was fucking.
I was more bothered by Lizzo than anything, honestly, though.
But it was just terrible, terrible. So anything with him in it now.
Yes, Jen, I did appreciate that one. I saw the movie, bought the album, everything. That was good. Like I said, like I was a fan of Jack Black and Tenacious D overall, but as the years go by, it just gets harder and harder to separate the person from the art, because they like during the whole man, I guess I don't really have to like censor myself because we're not in danger of getting canceled on this channel, but like during the whole thing of like the vaccines getting rolled out and stuff, like he did this video of him like getting his COVID vaccine and like, oh yeah, I got like my superpowers. Look, I got my vaccine. And it's like, oh, you're even peddling the vaccine. I hope you don't have a heart attack. I really don't wish that on anyone. I honestly like
I don't know. I got a list. I'm not going to lie. I got a list.
You have a list.
You knew as soon as he said the tour was canceled and all that was over that it was just going to be a little time.
Oh, shit.
They'd be back, no problem.
Yeah, like I said, like he's. I mean, Kyle Gass doesn't really do much else other than Tenacious D. Like he kind of acts a little bit, but like Jack Black is like he's still out there and doing movies and stuff. He's trying to not get canceled. He was just trying to save his own ass.
Yeah.
Damn it!
It all blew over.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long. It does not take long at all. Let's see if this article is gonna keep from freaking out again.
Would you like to sign up for
something that I thought was sort of a little bit of like positive, like good news? Anyone out there that knows me at all or has been watching the channel for any stretch of time, you know that while my main focus is usually on music and I branch out to other things here and there and stuff, the main thing that I will branch out on is I absolutely love Christopher Nolan movies. I've seen almost all of his movies in theaters, except for some of the earlier ones before I really picked up on and recognized who he was as a director and all that. But Interstellar is definitely one that I saw in theaters. And I appreciate the fact that he slowly, like little by little over time, he started doing it when he was doing the Dark Knight trilogy, where he would do like entire sequences in, with an IMAX camera, but not the entire movie. Now he's gotten to the point where he films entire movies in his like 70 millimeter IMAX, very expensive, very noisy cameras, but his movies are meant to be seen in the theater. Like if you just wait until it's on streaming or wait until it's on Blu-ray or whatever, like you're missing out on the Christopher Nolan experience. And Interstellar, while lengthy, yeah, maybe it probably could have used an intermission so you can get up and use the bathroom in the middle without missing anything. But Interstellar was absolutely fantastic. I saw it twice in theaters when it came out, and they are doing a theatrical re-release for the 10-year anniversary, which I already can't believe it's already been 10 years since it came out. I remember at the time I was renting a condo that was right directly across the street from a movie theater. I just remember waking up on like a Saturday and going, oh yeah, that new Christopher Nolan movie came out, and I got on my phone and like bought a ticket and went across the street and went and watched the movie by myself just because I was like, I gotta go see this. And went again the following weekend with a friend. I do feel like I remember reading something about, see if this article talks about it. They thought that like the original negatives had like been damaged in a fire or something, but they pushed back the re-release. But it is happening the day after my birthday, no less, December 7th. I might just have to treat myself to a little Interstellar rewatch party.
Dempsey, I like his quote. Yeah, it kind of reminded me like kind of one of the 70s sci-fis where it gets like really weird and, you know, kind of transcendental and.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
probably my
and
favorite Chris Nolan film, actually, even over the Batman films, which I enjoy. But I really loved Interstellar for a lot of reasons. I like the complicated, weird ending. There were so many good performances in that as well. The fucking blocky robot thing, John Lithgow. It was a good package movie. It's long, but all of his films kind of are.
yeah.
But as far as for bang for buck on the slew of Nolan films, Interstellar for me is top tier Nolan.
Yeah, but I just remember too, like, and I know like Tenet is a little more of a difficult subject with that one because that movie was strange and confusing, but I still maintain that seeing a Christopher Nolan film in the theater, in IMAX, and the surround sound, everything, it's a whole different ball game because. When I saw Tenet in the theater, as confusing as it was, there were a lot of scenes in there where it's just like you could feel like your heart rate was like pacing up. You're like gripping the arms of your seats, everything. It was a really intense movie, but then like rewatching it at home, it just like it didn't have the same effect. And I feel the same way about Interstellar. Interstellar is still a great movie, like you're saying. It's your favorite. It's one of his best. I remember because I saw it twice in theaters. The scene where they like land on the planet that has like the big giant tidal wave that comes in. Like when I saw that in theaters, I was like on the edge of my seat, like ripping the arms off of my seat, like heart was going. I was just like, this is so intense right now. Like the scene, the action of like they're about to get taken out by some big giant tidal wave on some otherworldly planet, everything. Like seeing that in theaters was such just next level from watching it at home. I don't go to the movies very often, but if there's ever a Christopher Nolan movie in theaters, I will 1000% always go see Christopher Nolan because he really cares about his storytelling. He really cares about his filmmaking. He tries to use CGI at an absolute minimum. He tries to do practical effects and real sets as much as possible. Like I think as of right now is one of the last true filmmakers that really cares about making a good movie and making a good story and making it believable versus these people that are just like, put it in front of a green screen, throw some CGI on it, crank it out, get it out there. Like it's just like he works one project at a time and he really painstakingly cares about every single project that he works on. And it's so worth seeing in the theater as much as I hate going to, because I have a hard time staying awake through movies. Sometimes it takes me a couple tries to get through a movie. But if I go see a Christopher Nolan movie, I'll just get a cup of coffee and make sure I stay awake for it. Like Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was 3 hours. It was, I'm not going to say it was tough to get through it because it was a great movie and it was interesting, but fuck, it was long.
I'm reading Copa stuff. It's actually he saw the movie and Nolan was there. That's fascinating. And yes, you should have loopered Rian Johnson. I hate that guy.
Gravity.
Funny, I didn't see any announcements of his new trilogy at the D23. Odd.
Oh no! They had a lot of bad announcements and some pretty expected announcements. But no, I don't think that's coming out. I don't want to go on too much about Star Wars because I could go on for a minute. That Grogu and Mandalorian movie.
Why?
Why? You know, I'll be honest because again, I'm I'm the
I'm
resident
excited.
normie here, right? Like,
I'm excited about the new Tron movie, though. So
there's a new
Yeah,
Tron movie?
Jan, I got
I
that
missed
story. I'm
that.
actually going to be covering that this Thursday. I was pretty
Tron
excited
Ares.
to see that.
It's got Jared Leto and it's got AI. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's Tron. That's basically all of Tron.
But now they finally leave the Tron worlds.
So, I mean, okay, like maybe I didn't really like hype Oppenheimer, but I saw it and I enjoyed it. I like autobiographies and like historical. Like I like things that are like historical type of stuff. So I did really enjoy it. But as far as like the major hype, I don't know about that, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a well-made film.
I'm waiting for them to start wearing
Nails.
Mickey Mouse ears in this new Nine Inch Nails video. It's going to be
Nails
right there.
Tron. I had not heard about a new Tron
interesting.
movie. I didn't know about that. Interesting.
Yeah, this is the third film. The second film, I think a lot of people forgot even existed, but it happened. So what I think is interesting in this is that they're saying Nine Inch Nails. They're not saying Trent Reznor and the guy he usually Atticus
Rose,
the guy who does all the soundtracks with, because they do, and they've been doing soundtracks for fucking ever. But that's as themselves. That's just them. So if you're talking Nine Inch Nails, that's a whole different critter. Because that's
it's actually interesting to bring that up because Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did a portion of the soundtrack for the Pixar film Soul. So the parts where they were like in the afterlife, whatever, it was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, but not Nine Inch Nails. So the differentiation is kind of an interesting thing to notice.
That was a good one.
But yeah, apparently Trent Reznor's gotten in good with Disney, so hey, good for him.
But this is different. This is Nine Inch Nails. So
whoever would have thought back in 1994 when Closer was like,
that's what I'm thinking. That's going through my head right now. I'm like,
when Closer was the video on MTV that had to be pushed to like after hours, like after 10 p.m. That all of a sudden now that guy would be making soundtracks for like Pixar and
Disney movies.
What a time to be alive!
Well, all that music from that time,
and
all that music from that time now they play as music in department stores and shit. So, whatever's new and edgy is always going to be old music.
The Mando and Grogu thing, I feel like they've missed the mark. It's like they've missed the window when people are super into it. I feel like they have bled that stone as much as they can, and people have they've moved on to the next thing. They're not interested anymore. Baby Yoda was like the only thing really carrying that series, and now I think people are kind of like it's run its course, like we're over it.
Season 3 sucked. That's the problem. They destroyed him in season 3 when they replaced the main character with Bo-Katan. I like Bo-Katan. I think she's a fine character. She's a fine side character or a character in her own fucking series. But the show The Mandalorian was about the Mandalorian, that Mandalorian,
right.
That specific Din, I think his name was.
I feel like I kind of predicted this from the very beginning. When I first heard about this, even before the idea of Disney Plus streaming was even a thing, they were talking about, we're going to make a whole series about Boba Fett and whatever and this and that and the other. Right away, I was just like, no, because they're going to ruin it. They're going to do what they did with the movies. They're going to put out too much content too fast. They're going to make it lame. They're going to ruin it. And sure enough, like it was good. Season 1 was good. Okay, season 2, season 2, like it just kept progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm one of those weirdos that has always loved Boba Fett. Like I understand he only had like 5 minutes of screen time in the original movies, so it was like, why do you like this character so much? I don't know. He's kind of mysterious. He's kind of cool. He was like a bounty hunter. He wasn't good or bad, whatever. And like I've always wanted a Boba Fett tattoo, and now I'm like, Disney Plus has tainted that. Where if I get the tattoo, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you got it because of the show," and I'm like, "Fuck you! I grew up watching these movies." Like,
well, Obi-Wan and Boba Fett were supposed to be movies.
I couldn't get through Obi-Wan
story, but then the Solo movie crashed it so hard they like put the kibosh on those.
So bad. It was
and
so bad.
TV shows. So If they'd done it at the end
I
of season 2, gone from having Luke come in and go right to a movie, that would have been
launching the film.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That would have
been the perfect time. You're 100% right,
Yes.
Blair. But they fucked it up because they can't not fuck it up. And then and then you got the Kathleen Kennedy because seasons 1 and 2 were Jon Favreau. After that, you get Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni sticking his cock in it and screwing it all up. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Boba feet.
And that's all I have to say about that.
But it just became so bad. It was like, oh man. Yeah. Anyways,
So Boba Fett would have been if Brie Larson had starred in it, Copa.
Oh yeah, that may have been worth watching. I don't know.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about some AI stuff. Because that is so. When the folks of Hollywood, SAG-AFTRA, and all that, when they were striking last year, a lot of it was pretty dumb. But as a creative person myself, as a musician, I mean, I'm not out there writing and recording my own original music and trying to sell albums or anything, but still, as a creative person, I see the dangers of AI and that people who are writers for TV shows, for movies, musicians, authors, people that write novels, everything. I read that they're actually literally using Stephen King novels to train AI, which is probably a good thing now because Stephen King is such a flaming twat right now. You could go to AI and be like, write me a Stephen King novel, but make it not lame. He has like the most extreme case of Trump derangement syndrome. That it's like everything he tweets now it's like old man yells at cloud. He's just like, you're so angry and you're so deranged and you're so unhinged now.
Well, there's a whole
he wrote some of his best
Mark
novels.
Hamill and fucking
Mark Hamill.
Rob Reiner.
That one hurts me deeply.
Like a club. They're the
Mark Hamill hurts me deeply because, again, like I said, like I grew up watching the original Star Wars movies, and sometimes you just really don't want to know what. I don't want to say heroes because it's like I'm not dumb enough to look up to an actor as like a hero, but like someone who portrayed a character that you loved for so long turned out to be such a twat. But Stephen King is like, I feel like Stephen King did his best work when he was all strung out on coke, pills, and alcohol. And now that he's sober, he's just a grumpy old man who hates Trump, and that's all he tweets about anymore. Him and Rob Reiner, man, and Mark Hamill.
They're the retard club.
But they, I read at one point they were using Stephen King novels to help train the AI machine. But this Instagram reel that I came across recently is extra terrifying because you've probably all seen them. You've seen the photos. You've seen where it's like the photo where like the person has like 7 fingers or something's kind of scrambled. Something's kind of weird. Like it's like immediately obvious. Like it's all wishy-washy. Everything. Something's weird where you're like, okay, that's straight up AI. That's fake. That's whatever. This shit that I'm about to show you guys is terrifying. And I think this is absolutely where the machines take over.
Yeah, this is utterly insane. She is 100% AI. Without a doubt, these are the most realistic AI images.
Like, look at he's saying these images that he's showing right now are 100% AI.
Whoa.
They don't have extra fingers.
99.8.
They don't like everything looks like.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They don't have that, because usually an AI picture, aside from the malformations, they all have a certain kind of look.
You can tell.
There's a look to it, though. These
I know what you mean.
Even like Joe Rogan talked about this a while back on one of his podcasts where he was saying like when either something is like an animatronic, so they've even delved in that a little bit of like making actual like animatronic AI robots and the images and other stuff. He's like, Joe Rogan talked about how like we have a primal portion of our brain that tells you like something about this is not right. You're like, you maybe not quite sure what it is initially, but you see something and you're like, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look natural. And it's like a natural defense mechanism that's like built into our brains. I cannot tell this, like
8% of the way from being completely indistinguishable.
Look at the hair, the beard, everything. But here's the kicker right here. What he zooms in on in this next part is where he's like, this is the only way you can tell right now, and they're gonna fix it soon.
From reality. The only giveaway is the text, and that'll be fixed really soon.
So
this will be the year that we get to
I didn't stop it on time, but the text on the lanyard was just like scribbled, just like gobbledygook, scribbled, whatever. But he's like, that's going to be fixed soon. That's the only way you can tell these photos are fake, and just the lanyard doesn't have actual readable text on it. But like, look at these images. Look at everything, the lighting, the skin tone, the hair, the clothing, everything. It's like, this is fucking terrifying right now.
100% indistinguishable from reality AI images. 2025 for video. And look, people always ask me, Roberto, don't the dangers and the downsides of this tech outweigh the upside? I mean, it's a great question. My take is that it's a tool, and like any other tool, it can be used for good or for bad. And you can't avoid it. It's here. It's happening.
Right there. I am not real. And the only thing you can tell in there that's fake is the text looks like it was not actually written with a Sharpie. Other than that, it looks like a real person.
I mean, the reason I've spent the last year and a half updating people on the progress is that I really believe knowledge is power. I mean, the more that people know about what's going on, the less impact it has when used nefariously. So look, this was made with Flux, which I just covered in a previous video. And if you want the source and the workflow and more information, I posted that on my threads. By the way, quick prediction. Within a year, we're going to have our first high-profile court case that hangs on a jury's ability to decide whether evidence was AI or not. Let me know what you think. And hit that follow to stay updated on the most important stories in the world of tech. I'll see you soon.
So this, I like, yeah, Chat GPT, all of this stuff. I hate all of this stuff. The fact that people are even entertaining this, the fact that people are feeding it, the fact that people are training it, and they're like, oh, it's fine, it's a tool, it's a whatever. And I'm like, no, like, have you watched Terminator 2? Like, you realize like this is how the machines take over. And actually, with that, I'm gonna pull this back up real quick. In the comments, you see right here, somebody posted a Skynet gif. It's like, that's my first thought every single time when I see this stuff. I'm just like, no, this is bad. This is all bad. This is bad for everyone. It's bad for creative people. It's bad for the world in general. If you're an author, if you're a musician, if you are it's not good. And that I came across that video on, I think, Saturday or Sunday, and I was like, this is next level. This is terrifying, because all of those images, all those photos, everything except for the text on that guy's lanyard, you're like, you cannot tell that they're fake. And just like he said, he's like, within the next year, he's predicting like we're gonna have a high profile case where a jury is gonna have to figure out, was this real, was this fake? When all this AI stuff started really coming up, I'd have friends that would send me stuff, send me memes, send me whatever. And one was, it was audio only, so no photo, no video, whatever. But the audio sounded like Donald Trump and Joe Biden sitting in a room together, having a civil conversation together. And if the caption didn't say it was AI generated, I would have had no idea. I mean, obviously, they're not going to sit in a room together and have a civil conversation. That's besides the point. But you could not tell that it was fake. It sounded like Trump. It sounded like Biden. And I'm like, this can be used for so much bad. You can blackmail people. You could accuse people of things. You could take them to court. How are they going to prove it? How is the jury going to figure out what's real and what's not? Like,
well, the AI that was shown in that video is way better than the Harris team is using currently to show that it is. They're AIing the fuck out of things right now to make it look like she has a much bigger draw than she does. So, but it's
the
not
one with the airplane AI. Where like there's no reflections of any people in the airplane.
Well, that, and you can't approach an aircraft like that's not. It's just even knowing the behind the scenes of it. It doesn't work. Nothing works like that. But it's no, because they're still dealing with six-fingered people, weird long arms, people on top of people, almost like the end of the thing. It's just they're not doing a job with it. They need to hire clearly better people. The audio is is light years ahead of the video and pictures. The audio is tough, especially speaking audio. I don't think I've heard a song done in it yet. But the speaking audio
I've
stuff
I've heard some like
scary.
not necessarily to sound specifically like someone. I think Tennessee as a state actually already banned the use of AI to like mimic someone's voice. So like if you were to be like, hey, like AI, write me a song that sounds like Willie Nelson, like they've banned the use of like mimicking someone's voice. But I have heard songs where they're like, oh, we told AI to write like a popular country song. And it's kind of like funny tongue in cheek where it's like making fun of how it's all just about pickup trucks and cold beer and dirt roads. But it's like, they're like, write us a song, and it does it.
Yeah.
But
You,
yeah, the same question:
can't-
when is AI going to do my laundry and clean my apartment? That
no
would be a
kidding.
great.
we've seen those YouTube videos where it's, you know, like they're doing like a movie description, and you can tell it's an AI voice.
Yes.
Because it
Yeah.
will say a word weirdly,
Yeah.
or it's just the cadence is off a little bit, but it sounds still pretty amazing. Do you remember the old movie called Looker? You ever see that? Early 80s with Albert Finney and
Oh,
James
yeah, I
Coburn?
do remember that. Yeah, with the robots.
Yeah, well, no, not robots.
Well,
The models. What they do is they would get these models to have very precise plastic surgery and put them in this big wireframe scanner and capture their image. And then they would use the AI generated thing instead of the actress. So there's a
Okay,
part
yeah,
where they had sets, and the camera would come in there, it would show the set, but then the computer would generate the people selling stuff
Okay.
for commercials. And Albert Finney was hiding the set, and he'd like peek over and look, and it would look ridiculous that, you know, but I believe they're totally going to do that, where they're just going to scan people, or you're going to have a company that's going to take like an insurance company. They're going to computer generate a spokesperson, and that's going to be their spokesperson, and then they'll change it and age it, or they might even farm it out so another company can use that. You know, they'll replace actors with something like that, and they can own that totally and make money off of it. You know.
I think that's also been a part of like the de-aging technology, like when they've done in movies recently where they, you know, like Indiana Jones and other stuff where they're like, oh, we're doing like some CGI de-aging. It's like you're just training the AI to be able to just be like, we're just going to put an AI person on screen and we don't even need the actor anymore. Like right now it's, oh, we're going to de-age Harrison Ford to look like a young Indiana Jones. But what they're doing is they're training the algorithm. They're like training the machine how to just be like, make him look young and make him kind of move like a human.
He still sounds like an 80-year-old man.
Yeah, I know.
You know. But Dempsey says AI-based prompt entertainment will completely take over very soon. Video games, movies, books, music, art, anime, shows, all of it will be and that's what I'm saying this whole time. Like part of the SAG-AFTRA strike last year was a little bit ridiculous and a little bit stupid, but I understood their strike against AI writing scripts. They could be like, oh, well, you could just be like, here, write me this show, write me this movie, whatever. Maybe Hollywood writers should be putting out better stories and better content, and then they wouldn't be in danger of losing their jobs. That's a whole different topic. But the idea of them striking against don't replace this with AI, I'm like, I get it. Again, as a musician, looking at people that are authors, they're saying here, you know, video games, art, anime, everything. Like it could be anything. Once you train the machine, once you train the algorithm, you can just be like, give me this thing, give me that thing, give me, you know, whatever. Of all people, funny enough, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins warned of this years ago. He came out and was like, I see this trend coming, and when AI starts writing music and starts, you know, kids can just like punch a couple of words into a computer and spit out a song. Is like, are we going to care about the artistry of a human being actually sitting down and writing a song, or are we just going to be like, oh, like it's really catchy and I can like tap my foot to it? And like Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins was like, he was like the first one to be like, hey, like this is coming. Are we going to care? Is this something we want to like fight against? Like. So
yeah, it probably will happen.
It's I feel like it's already happening. It's very much a problem. But again, people just like they play around with the chat GPT and stuff, and like, oh hey, like write me this thing and stuff. And like people like right now, it's just sort of like, haha, it's a funny joke, and it's like, yeah, but you're helping to train it because you're talking to it and you're like. There's one like I probably should have looked it up. I could probably find it in a few minutes, but there's one where it's like a meme of John Connor from Terminator 2, and he just sort of has this like salty look on his face, like kind of like glaring at you, and it's like John Connor watching you become friends with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did we learn nothing from the sci-fi movies of the 80s? Like, literally, like we're literally living in the plot of Terminator 2.
We are. Skynet's just around the corner.
But at least in that movie, the guy, like when they told him what happens in the future, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is bad," and he like tries to destroy the different chips and everything. And so now people are just like, "Oh no, it's fine. This is fine." No, this is not good. Oh, here we go. There we go. John Connor watching you make friends with artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Yeah, just I don't know. Just when I think people can't be any dumber, it's like there've literally been dozens of movies about exactly what's happening right now. iRobot. Like I don't know if you guys saw this because it was like part of like a whole, sport ball thing, but almost a year ago at a San Diego Padres game, baseball game, yay sport ball, they had AI robots, like literally like physical robots down on the field before the game, like interacting with the players and with fans and stuff.
I remember this.
Like they had like some sort of like weird thing around like the back of their head, like they looked like something out of fucking Star Trek or something. But literally AI robots physically at a baseball game in San Diego, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, why are we doing this? Like, what?
Wait till they arm them.
Yeah,
we got those robot dogs. The evil robot dogs.
Dude, they're so terrifying. Creepy looking.
They are
so creepy.
You see the War of the Worlds remake they did?
Yeah.
The creepy dogs.
Real quick though, looks like Jacob's got to take off. Hey, Jacob, thanks for tuning in, buddy. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, War of the Worlds, the remake with Tom Cruise, right?
No, Gable Byrne. It was on a TV. It was like on a French TV. It's on Amazon.
Oh, like a more recent one.
Yeah, it's not Mars. It's like another. It's like a time travel type thing. But they come, and what they have those dogs, and they have like this pneumatic bullet thing that they hunt people down and kill with, and they're like relentless because they're like everywhere.
Yikes!
They're all over the place.
What's it called?
It's War of the Worlds. It's got Gable Byrne.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a French English remake of it.
Because the last one I saw was the one with Tom Cruise. I didn't realize there was another one they'd made.
Oh yeah. It was really good. It was like 2 or 3 seasons. I really enjoyed it. But I had those dogs there, and they're hunting people down. That was scary as hell.
Yeah. But yeah, like even here, like Dempsey's saying, like it's just the tip of the iceberg. I agree. Self-driving cars are already a thing, and even those are not all that reliable. Most of them are like the Teslas.
Let's hope for that. Let's hope
like,
just.
They say it's like, oh, you still need to remain like alert and whatever. It's like, well, then what's the point of the self-driving car if you still need to be ready to like take control at any time? Because the thing could totally short circuit. They said at one point they were having trouble telling the difference between a pedestrian crossing the street or a bird, because it just like something like would fly in front of the camera, and like we don't know what it is.
We're just gonna hit it anyway.
Truckers will be dinosaurs soon. And even with that point too, truckers will be dinosaurs soon. One of the last times I heard Elon Musk go on the Joe Rogan podcast, he talked about that. He was talking about like self-aware, self-driving, like semi-trucks where, these guys, they have to drive X amount of hours, but at some point they have to pull over and they have to sleep. But it's like, if we have self-driving semi-trucks, they can just drive all through the night. They can get to the next location faster.
They don't even need them. Every
menial labor job, skilled profession right after that. Yeah, it's
The Trump thing is back up. For those of you who want it or are trying to watch.
Oh, good, it's back on.
There was a big cyber attack.
Vampire just came out to let
not
me know.
good. But Jana, as far as Billy Corgan though, I would say their first 3 albums were good, and then they were shit after that. After their double album, the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, they were good up to that point, and then it just turned into the Billy Corgan show where he was stroking his own ego.
He's just fucking nuts.
Probably because nobody else would.
Yeah, he is the worst.
He is now, I agree. But, you know. Yes, you still care. Competition is always a thing in music. Yeah, well, the musicians care, but do the listeners care? The people that are just the casual listeners that don't play music, that don't write music, are they going to care if a song was written by AI, or are they going to care if it was written by a human? They're just going to be like, oh, it's really catchy, I like it. I mean, look at how much shit music is out there as it is by people that are actually writing it, whether it's, okay, you know, I don't know if Taylor Swift writes all her own songs or if she has a producer or songwriter or whatever stuff, but it's like she's popular, and it's like, okay, so people like her music, but are they going to be like, oh, well, did she really write it or was it written by AI? I don't think they care as long as it's catchy and they have a good time. So that becomes a big issue with music. TV shows, movies, books. I don't know. I don't even know at that point. I don't even know if you'll be able to tell the difference. Dempsey's saying for the human race to become beyond a 1 on the Kardashev scale, you need to advance tech. You either survive the Great Barrier or you don't. The clock is ticking.
I don't know if we even make it out of this year, so I guess we'll see what happens.
We will see
and I don't
what
mean me
happens
personally,
in
I mean
November.
all of us. Okay. Sorry.
We will see what happens in November. You all right, Roman? You good? You sweating?
No, there's some stuff coming, and I gotta address here. Not terribly long. Yeah. Outside stuff, other stuff.
Other stuff. All right. Well, with that, we've kind of reached our hour mark, so I feel like this is as good as time as any to go ahead and do our. What do we have going on this week? So, Roman, what do you got going on?
All right. Thursday at 5 Pacific Standard, we're doing a free range. Dempsey is going to be on with us covering. I got like two pages of topics that we're going to look at or not look at, depending on how the time moves. But it should be fun. And then next week, we're going to cover the film Wolfen, which not a lot of people have seen this movie. It's an interesting take on the wolf genre. They aren't werewolves. So that's going to be fun. And then that's as far as we need to go. We can look 2 weeks out. I've got stuff planned out till September, but including the fucking Fifth Element. Yes, we are going to do one. So
are you going to wear the leopard print leotard?
No, I'm not. I'm doing this against my will.
You're going to wear the orange strappy thing. Yes.
No.
Nobody needs to see that.
So much no. So, but anyway, so that's the next couple weeks coming up, and then we'll see what else. I'm going to be on with Ryan Roger Athe this Sunday at 1 as well. I urged him to have more guests on. He somehow, I think it's just he and I. So we'll see how it goes. But he's a fun host. I like working with him. So
cool.
Anyway.
Right. And Blair, you jumping on with anyone else the rest of this week, or what do you got going on?
Not this week. I'm going to be on with Jacob Ironside when he does the Wrath of Khan review.
Oh, nice.
Which will be nice. Okay. Otherwise, I'll be here back here next Monday. Yeah.
Yep. Late to the party news Monday, and then I am going to try out a midweek Wednesday at 3:00 Pacific Standard Time solo cast. I'm just going to basically hop on after work and have some beers and talk about whatever's happened between Monday and Wednesday and see who's in the chat. And I don't know, just sort of have more of like a laid back. I mean, we don't really have much of a format on Mondays either. Just pull up a couple different articles and have a good time. But It'd be kind of fun to try a midweek thing. Just get off work, come home, crack open a beer, see who's in the chat, and just talk about what else has happened during the week. All sorts of weird stuff keeps coming up. So, yeah, I think that will do it for this week's Late to the Party news. As always, Roman, I love your Late to the Party news background.
Very nice.
We'll need to order at least one more ring light. I was saying, I think before you got into the backstage, my green screen thing is still kind of wonky. So I got a light over here. I got a light here. I need one more. Then I can start playing around with more fun backgrounds. But yeah. Until then, thank you guys all in the chat. We had Dempsey, Jana, Banana, Cajun Corey, Lady Marine, Shield Wall, Jacob Ironside, and Copa X Machina. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in and for being here.
Jay Deep Minded, nice seeing you again.
And Jay the Deep Minded, yes, thank you. Sorry, I almost missed one. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. This has been Late to the Party News. We'll see you guys next Monday. Cheers.
Later. Be excellent to each other.
This has been Late to the Party News. Make sure to like and share this video for others to see. Subscribe to the channel and set notifications to all so you get notified every time we go live or post a new video. Thanks and good night.